Hello friend, in the last session we have seen that this keyword is a final reference variable of current type which points to the current object, right? So in this we are going to see the use of reference or this keyword. This keyword can be used in 6 different ways. So the first one here we are going to see this is to use this can be used to refer the instance variables. This can be used to refer the instance variables, right? So how it is or why it is required? For example, say we have class ABC, and in ABC I have an instance variable int x is equal to, say, some value I'll give here only 99, and say string msg is equal to, say, hello, right? So this is two instance variables which is having some hard-coded values at the beginning only, and I have a method void show method and show method is going to print this x and msg. So I'll write here one SOP statement, and it prints x, one tab space plus msg should be printed, right? So this is the class ABC, and I have class, say, test. Inside the test I have main method, and inside main I'll create an object of ABC and I want to call the show method, right? So I'll create ABC A1 is new ABC, right? And we call A1.show. Right? Now when you will execute this program with Java and test, and how the JVM is, what JVM actually does in that is, say this is your JVM memory. So it has a JVM memory is mainly this 3-part assume, right? So this is method area, stack and heap, and when you call Java and test, then first test class should be loaded. So this is test is loaded, test, and inside that main method is there, so main method should be loaded. So this is main is loaded, right? Main. Inside the main method you are having a reference variable of type ABC first. So A1 gets memory in this, and the size is so it is 8 byte because it is reference variable. And when you say new ABC, then A1 is new ABC. It has to create an object of type ABC. So the object is creating in heap memory. So this is object is created, right? This object is created. Now the object address 1040 is the address of object, and when you are creating an object of ABC, JVM will check what are the instance variables available in ABC. So it has x and msg, right? So x memory gets allocated here, and the value of x is having hard-coded value, so it is 99, and msg which is having hello, right? and the object address is assigned to A1. This is 1040. It points here, right? So this is statement execution is over. Now control is here, and when you say A1 dot show, A1 dot show, right? A1 dot show. When we call the show method, on top of this main stack frame, a show method loaded. This is show. And in the previous tutorial you have seen, inside the function you will have a this, and this points to the current object, means A1 value is stored into this. This is 1040. This points here. Now control is inside the show function, right? It has to print X and MSG, X and MSG. But how it will print X and MSG? When you will write here X and MSG here, actually it is this dot X. It is by default. When you write here simply like this dot X, and this is also this dot MSG. So it has to print here actually this dot X plus one tab space and this dot MSG. Now this dot X, this is a reference variable which is pointing to this object. So this dot X means it is this, and referencing to this location the X value. The X value is 99, so it prints 99. One tab space, then it prints this dot MSG, and this is referencing. When you say this, it refers you to this location, and from here it accesses this MSG and prints here hello, right? So this is here the use of this. Inside a method you are using this keyword to refer the current instance variables, or members, whatever, right? So this keyword used to refer the instance variables of the current object, right? Here it is inside the current object. But when I'm not writing here this keyword, still it is doing the same thing. Internally it is having this dot X and it is this dot X. How it is having this dot X? Suppose if I don't write here, now I am not writing this dot X, still it is working fine. But when I am writing, say I will write here inside the show method, I have two more local variables also. So I have another local variable int X is equal to 88 inside the show method, and I have here one string type MSG is equal to say hi, okay. Now how will be the memory? When you say like this, say so this show method is gone. I'll take, so this is not here now. When I will say show now, it has to go and it is loaded here, suppose, right? And say it is show, and inside the show you have one this address is the A1 address. Actually it is 1040, which is also points into this, right? Along with that, it has two more local variable X and MSG. So local variable memory should be allocated inside the stack frame where the stack is loaded, right? So here one X memory is allocated, the value is 88, and here one MSG memory is allocated, the value is high. It is local one, right? So the value is high, and this is pointing to the current object. Here also you have one X which value is 99, and here you have one MSG which value is hello. Now if I don't write here this, okay, if I don't write here this, say I'm not writing here this, then what happens? This is not here, right? It is just MSG and X. So when you do like this, so this is just X and this is just MSG. Now when you do like this, then what it does is, control is here now. First it search locally any X memory is available or not. So inside the show method, first it gets one x, the value is 88. So now it will not give this output, it will give here 88 and hi MSG is also there, so it will give hi. But in this case what I want is, because inside the show method it is having one x locally and it is having one MSG, because of that this SOP statement x and MSG is getting the local value from the local stack. But what I want is, when I'll say here x and MSG, I don't want this local variable value, I want the object x value and object MSG, instance variable value I want. So in the previously, when these two local variable was not here, so if you write here just x and MSG, then what this x will do, or what the JVM will do, JVM will search x first inside the locally x is there or not. At that time it was not there, so it will add here this dot x, means it will search in the current object, this dot x is there or not. Okay, it is there, it will take from this location. Again search for the MSG locally is available or not. At that time it was not available, so it will cut directly from object MSG hello. But now when JVM search x is available locally or not, it is available, so it will take this x and it gives 88. When MSG is searching in the local scope MSG is available, so it will give here local variable MSG value which is high, and it will not go to the current object. So in this case, if you want when the local variable and the instance variable name is same, then inside any function you can refer the local variable directly like this, and for instance variables you must use explicitly this dot x plus one tab space and this dot MSG. In this case you have to explicitly mention. So this explicitly you have to mention when the local variable and the instance variable name is same. If you don't mention explicitly this dot x, then this x it will take from the local scope and it will not search in the current object, right? So in this case you must write this dot x to refer the instance variable variables. You have to use this explicitly. But when local variable is not available, or local variable and instance variable name is not same, then in that case you can directly write the instance variable name and JVM automatically goes to the object and it search inside the object any variable is there with that name and not, and you can access it, right? So this is one use. Or we can take here one more example, say like this. Say I have a class and in this class, say class hello. Inside the hello class I have one int x is equal to 99 and another one int, say I is equal to some 10. I have a method void show method show. Inside the show method I have one more string type x, which value is say hi. Now if I write here one SOP statement x plus one tab space plus I, if I write, then when JVM will execute this SOP statement, first it will search x locally is available or not. Okay, locally x is available, so it will take hi, and I locally is not available, so I it will take from the instance and this value will be 10. So in this case what I have to do is I can write this dot x plus one tab space plus I. Now this dot x is not on the current scope, in the local scope it has to go to the object and it has to collect this x from the object, so it will give here 99, and I locally anyway is not available. I you can write directly or you can use here one, this also is optional. I automatically goes to the scope object and it collects it from that location 10. Or you can write it is like this, say x plus one tab space plus this dot x plus another tab space plus this dot I. In this case with I, this is optional. If you are not writing it is fine, or if you write also it is okay. So this is one use with the method when you when the instance variable name and local variable name is same. Now let's try that with the example. Say com dot kc dot p8 and test 1. Now say class ABC, and ABC have int x is equal to 99 and the string msg is equal to hello, right? Void show is a method, and inside the show you are printing x plus 1 tab space plus msg, right? Now inside the main method create an object of abc a1 new abc and a1 dot show, right? So the output first time this x and msg is from this x and msg, so it should be 99 and hello, right? It is 99 and hello. But in this case, if I use here this dot x is equal to this dot x plus 1 tab space plus msg, then also it gives the same output, this dot x, because this is automatically goes to the object scope, right? So this is same. But when I have here another x, say int x is equal to 88 and string msg is equal to say hi. So in this case x and msg, which is directly you are mentioning here, will take from the local scope. This is 88 and high, and this dot x and this dot msg comes from the object, that is 99 and hello, right? So it is this. If I have one more variable here, say it is int I, or you take say another example, I have class hello. Inside the hello class you have void, or inside the hello class you have int x is equal to 99 and int I is equal to 10, right? You have void show function. Now inside the show function, if I have a SOP statement, and here also I have a string s is equal to, or a string x is equal to say hi, right? So in this, if I use x directly, then it will be hi, and if I use that x, it is this dot x plus 1 tab space, and I can use here I directly, or I can write one more tab space plus this dot I. Anyone is fine, right? For I, because I locally is not available, but x locally is available. So when you use directly that x here, it refers the local one. If you want to access the x which is from the object, then you have to use here this keyword, right? So this keyword here referencing the instance variables when local variable are also having the same name. Now if I want to call this show method from the main method, then I need to create an object of hello, h1 is new hello, and h1 dot show, right? Run this, it is this. Next, if suppose, now this again for instance variable only, but this time this we are going to use with a constructor. Suppose we have a constructor something like this. So we have a class, say class ABC, right? And in this I have a two local variables, say int I and one string type some s, right? And these two instance variable, I have a constructor to initialize these two at the time of creating the object, say int say k and string type some h, right? So what I'll write here is I is equal to k and h is equal to, sorry, s is equal to h, right? So it is this. Now I have a method to print this to value, so I'll write here void show info, and the show info method prints the value of I plus one tab space plus s should be printed. Since here no local variable is the same name, so I and s will be taken from the object, right? Now I have a main method, say class test. Inside the test, public static void and main method. Inside the main, I need to create an object of ABC. ABC A1 is equal to new ABC, right? And I need to give two value because we don't have default constructor here. One is for k and one is for h. Now k value I'm giving here 10 and h value here say kc, right? And I'll print a1 dot show info. Now how JVM works in this. So the memory I'll take like this. Suppose I have, say this is the JVM memory, and in that the memory is this. So this is method area, stack and heap, right? Now when you execute this program, first test class get loaded, test is loaded, then main method starts execution, right? This is main. Inside the main you have a a1 first reference variable, so this is a1 reference variable, right? And a1 reference variable, this is the main step frame, and when you say a1 is equal to new ABC of 10 and some kc, right? When you say like this, the constructor is called and the constructor should be loaded on top of the stack, right? And this is here constructor is loaded, ABC constructor is loaded. Inside this ABC constructor, these two local variable k and h are the local variable, so k memory gets allocated here, this is k, and this is h memory is allocated, right? K value what you are giving from here, k you are giving 10, that is stores here, and h value which is kc. And now it creates the object. This is the object created, and the object address is say 1040, and at the time of creating the object it has I and S, that also memory gets allocated I, and this is 0 by default, and S memory is allocated by default, this gets null first time, right? Object is done. Then once the object is created, control comes to the first statement of the constructor, right? I suggest you to see the static control flow or an instance control flow tutorial before coming into this point, then this will be more clear if you have not watched till now, right? You see that two tutorial first before coming into this point, then this will be more clear for understanding, right? Static control flow and instance control flow of a program, right? So control comes into this, and first statement is k has to store into I, right? K has to store into I. K is the local variable, this value of k should be stored into I, right? So k is going to store into I, and this value becomes here 10. First statement is done. Then second statement is H should store into S. H, what is the value of H? H value is KC. So H value should store into S. Now this value is not null, it is KC, right? This is KC. So this is done. Constructor execution is over. Then when control comes to back to main method, it carries the address here and it is 1040. This is pointing here and this stack frame is destroyed, right? Now control comes back from here. When you call the constructor, from here it has gone to, from this it has gone to the constructor this, and when the control comes back here, it carries the address and the address is stored into A1, right? Now this statement execution is over. Now control comes into this A1 dot show info. Now on that A1 dot show info, when you call A1 dot show info, on top of this here another stack frame is generated and here show info function is loaded. Show info function is loaded. Immediately in this you have a this keyword which is pointing to this object and the value here is 1040, right? Of course in this also you have a this keyword. When the object is created, this is this, and this value is also 1040 when the constructor was loaded, right? So this is the execution flow of this. Now when you come to the show info gets loaded inside this one. This keyword is there and control is now from here. Control actually goes to this location and now it is inside the this location, right? I and S has to be printed. Now inside the show method, locally it checks here I and S, they are not there, so it goes to the object where the this keyword is pointing, current object, right? So current object I value and current object S value printed, so it will print here the output 10 and KC. Now this is fine, this is done. Now let's try that with an example how it works. So I'll take one more class here only. It's a class sum xyz, and in that I have int I and string s. Now in this I have a constructor, so xyz, and two argument int k and string type h, right? Now here I'm writing I is equal to k and h is equal to, sorry, s is equal to h, right? Done. Then you have a method here, void show info method, and show info method is printing I plus one tab space plus s, right? And in the main method I'll draw a line here and it prints line, draw a line here. And if you want to call the show info function of xyz, you need to create an object. So it is xyz, x1 is new xyz of certain and high, right? And x1 dot show info, and see this output should be 10 and high. But the execution program is very simple, right? It is working like this, but the execution flow in this is actually this one, right? This is the execution flow, how it works. Now I'll do a small modification in this program. Say suppose I have class ABC and same way int I or int x and a string type s, right? And constructor is same ABC, but constructor argument name is now different, x and a string type s only, right? And in this I'm writing x is equal to x and s is equal to s, right? Method remains same, void show info, and in that it is printing x plus one tab space plus s, right? Then you have a class test assume class test. In that, public static void and main method. Inside the main method, I need to call show info. So creating an object first for ABC. ABC A1 is new ABC and giving the value 10 and high, right? And A1 dot show info. What is the difference in this? Previously this variable name was different and this variable name was different. Only this is the different, right? And now what is the meaning here? When you are writing x is equal to x, it means this x is the local one, this is local x, and this is instance x. Means local x should be initialized, should be stored into instance s. Same way, local s should be stored into this instance s. Now if you see the memory allocation, how it works here is, so this is JVM memory, right? And when you execute test, then a test class is loaded, and so this is test loaded. Test is loaded here, test, and main method starts execution. So this is main. Now inside the main, when you are writing A1 is the reference variable, okay, and A1 is equal to new ABC of 10 and high, right? 10 and high. Then on top of this, the constructor should be loaded. So this is loading the constructor, and this is ABC constructor is loaded. When loading the constructor is having two local variable x and s, right? So x memory is allocated here locally, and the value of x is 10. S memory is allocated, the value is high, right? Then object has to be created. So this is the object created. At the time of creating the object, memory for instance variable x and memory for instance variable s is allocated. So this is x, it gets a default value. This is s, gets a default value which is null, right? And this address is 1040. Here you have a this, and the value is 1040. This is pointing into this location. Now this is done. Now control is at the first statement of the constructor. X should assign it to x, but this x, first x, when you are telling this is the local x, then local is assigned to instance x, means this x should come into this location, right? And same way, s is equal to s, when you will say local s should come into this s, but actually it will not do like this. What will happen in this case is, when you will say x, it is local x, okay, and when you say this x again, this is also will search locally, and locally again same x is available, so it will not go to the instance. What it will do is, it will assign reinitialize here itself. Same way, high s gets reinitialized here itself, and it will not come into this, and it will not come into this. Done, right? Control is here. Now when control returns back into the main method, and it stores the address into A1, so it is 1040. This points into this. Done. You have passed the parameter, you have given the argument in this 10 and high, but that actually was not assigned to the instance variable, because the local variable and the instance variable name is same in the constructor, right? So this is not initialized at this point, and it remains like this, and control already came back into this, and it is assigned into A1. Now when you say here A1 dot show info, right, A1 dot show info, then this is already destroyed at that time, and on top of that show function is loaded. This is show for execution. Now from here control is in show info function, and in show info function control is at the first statement. It is to print x and s, right? Now here you have the SOP statement, print x plus one tab space plus s. But this x, locally it will search first. In locally x is not available, locally s is also not available, and of course here you have a this. The value is 1040 and this is pointing here. When locally x is not found and locally s is also not found, then it comes into the current object. Here x is there and here s is there, and it prints 0 and none, right? So this problem is coming when the local variable, instance variable and the local variable name inside the constructor is same. Even when you are providing the values, when you are creating the object, the value is not going to be initialized in the object because of this reason. So to overcome with this problem, what you have to do, the local variable you are referring directly, okay, fine. So you have to write here this dot x is equal to x. This dot x means the instance variable x, it is this one, should be x should be stored into instance variable x, and this dot s is equal to s. Now this dot s, this one, this dot s means this s should be assigned with h1, right? Now if you do the remaining operation with this, then it gives the correct value, and here it get 10 and it is high. So this is the use of this keyword along with the instance variable, when instance variable and local variable name is same. It can be either inside a method, or it can be inside a constructor, or it can be inside a block, or it can be anywhere where instance variable name and the local variable name is same. You have to always differentiate the local variable, always differentiate the instance variable with this keyword, and local variable you have to refer directly. Okay, local variable you have to refer directly, and instance variable should be refer with this keyword. So this is the first use of this keyword with instance variables, right? Now let's see that with example. Say I'll take one more test. Class test1 again, and it is com.casey.p9, and this is main method, right? So inside this I have a class ABC, and in ABC int x and string s. Now ABC constructor you take int x and string s, right? And first it is x and s is equal to s. S is equal to s. Method is there. It is void show info, and I just print here x plus one tab space plus s. Now create an object of ABC here. ABC A1 is new ABC with 10 and say it is high, right? That's it. Now A1 dot show info. When I run first time like this, because you have not used here this keyword, now you run and see the output, it is 0 and null. Now what you have to do to overcome with this, you have to write this two statement as this dot x is equal to x and this dot s is equal to s. Now you run it again and it is done, right? It is done. So this is the first use of this keyword, right? The next use of this keyword is to call a method, and this you are going to see in the next tutorial. Thanks for watching my video. Please subscribe for more videos.